To all the queer and trans youth out there, just know that you are so loved, and we're going to be with you for every step of this fight. We love you so much. To all the queer and trans youth out there,
am I old school where I think this is
just
totally
know that you
inappropriate?
are so loved, and we're going to be with you for every step of this fight. We love you so much.
We love you so much, queer and trans youth. Not those pesky straight kids. I'm like having a discussion with someone as to whether or not this is wildly inappropriate. Like, politicians don't talk to my kids and don't talk to minors. Period. And this has nothing to do with queer trans debate. When Justin Trudeau takes to the stupid Zoom meetings, I think it was, I don't remember where it was, and says, hey, Mom, I'd like to talk to your kids. That's stranger danger. And by the way, it's a form of grooming as well. I made the mean joke. Before I call you a groomer, are you talking to kids and telling them you love them, trans and queer kids? I know your parents don't understand you, but I do. Come talk to me. I mean, I just want to make sure before I call you a groomer. Is that what you're doing? You know, there's different types of grooming. You can have sexual grooming. You can have political grooming. You can have medical grooming. And Justin Trudeau coming out, asking the moms in the room to leave, I'd like to talk to your kids so he can push the jab on them, is medical grooming. Holy hell, is it awful. And trying to squeeze out a fake crocodile tear from that face. We're with you. To the queer and trans youth, come talk to me privately. It's wildly inappropriate, politically exploitive, and absolutely disgusting. You keep our kids out of your mouths. That sounds even worse. Oh my goodness! And it's like. So that's Janice Irwin for the NDP, I think, out of Alberta or Edmonton. I was swiftly blocked, but I mean I can understand why. That's a member of the New Democrat Party of Canada. That party led by the equally disgusting Jagmeet Singh. And then there's another video of Jagmeet Singh. You want to talk about using kids as political tools, as political props? Where is it? Oh, come on. No. Hold on. Here we go. Look. Yeah. As political props. The joke here, people are saying this is Jagmeet Singh using his baby as a prop. And I'm like, dude, he's not using his baby as a prop. He's using his baby as a shield. Taken to an aggressive, heated meeting where they're talking about the Israel-Palestine conflict. And he's there with his frickin' 6-month-old. Like an actual physical shield. Look at this. NDP. When they're not grooming children, they're using them as shields. Literally.
History did not start on October 7th. Why don't we get a chance to
Who the hell would bring a kid to this, let alone one that's like sucking his teeth? I thought it was a doll.
I can talk. If you do want me to respond, I'm happy to do so. I feel like you might want to express yourself more than you want me to.
I think you might want to find a bloody babysitter, Jagmeet.
Will that be...
Can you imagine bringing not just a vulnerable child, not just a child, a newborn, to a heated political debate that could easily get mildly violent? What in the name of sweet holy hell world am I living in? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. I just watched that movie yesterday. It was fantastic.
We then move on and share the microphones with other people.
I think nothing is as
I'll take
important as a genocide against the Palestinians. Nothing is as important to talk about reforming your democracy.
This is a great place to take a kid.
Shame on Dace, who brought Stephen Leaching to our campus. You actually give a shit about Palestinians. You bring Zionists to our campus in the name of democracy. You give a shit about democracy.
This is exactly where you would want to take a very vulnerable baby. Use the shield. Like that scene from, okay, well, you get the picture. Like that scene from The Dead Zone. Was it Martin Sheen? Christopher Walken? Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na. If you've never seen The Dead Zone, it's terrifying, it's tragic, and it's one of the, it remains, I don't know if you call it a horror movie. Christopher Walken gets in a car accident. He can touch people and see into the future. And it's the end scene. Oh, do I spoil it, people? Spoiler alert. Do I spoil it? No, I'm not going to spoil it. Good evening, everybody. I had so many things lined up to bring in as the intro, but I'm going to bring one up actually before we get into our sponsor. First of all, Mr. Entry Acquired, you know who you are and you know what you did. I got a gift from a member of our vivabarneslaw.locals.com community. It's a box of these things. Let me just back up so you can see what this is. You know what's amazing when you have 3 kids and they get a hold of these? Holy crab apples. I think the neighbors were calling the cops. Anyways, Mr. Entry Acquired, they're actually kind of amazing. So we'll take them when we go to a sports game next. But the neighbors haven't called the cops yet. All right, before I play the video that I wanted to use as the intro, I'm going to just make sure that we are live across all of the interwebs. We are live on the Rumbles. Let me just get past the ads here. Okay, hold on one second. We're live on Rumble. Viva Fry on Rumble. Okay, now there's a commercial of somebody pouring Crown Royal into their gas tank. That's okay. We're live on Rumble. Beautiful. Let me make sure that we are live on vivabarneslaw.locals.com, and we are. Now, I wanted to start with this video, but I wanted to rant and rave first. So I'm going to play this video, and then I'm going to thank our sponsor of the evening, Field of Greens. So I went to see Andrew Dice Clay Friday night. Look, getting out of the house, especially it's the first time I've gone to I was at the football game. I don't get out of the house very often when I'm not, I get to the RNC debates and those types of things. So the missus and I got like a 3-hour play date. It's a date. It's not a play date. And we went to see Andrew Dice Clay, and it was great. It was great. It's an interesting thing seeing Andrew Dice Clay at this age make jokes about the things that he's making jokes about. And then, at the end, everyone's like, say the line, Bart, do your hickory dickory dock, or we're going to be an angry crowd. And then you get that vibe a little bit like, oi, this guy got defined too early by this one bit, and it's followed him for 30 years. Either way, it was a fun evening. And I'm not comparing. All that I'm saying is that I was thinking of how bloody funny Ty Fisher is. And Ty the Fish, I've had him on. We had an amazing interview on the channel. He's so bloody talented. And he's so diverse that he doesn't get pigeonholed, and he won't get pigeonholed for any one say the line, Bart. Now, and I wanted to start the show with that so that I don't know, this is not it. I'm not fluent enough in the world of stand-up comedy to know if Ty Fisher is getting the recognition that he deserves. But he deserves... I don't know. I don't think he's been on Joe Rogan. He deserves to go on Joe Rogan. He deserves to be performing at the mothership. The guy is a freaking genius. He's not just funny. He's not just insightful. He's not just ballsy. He is creative, and he's a good actor. His impersonation, well, you're going to see it here. This is what I wanted to start the show with. I'm going to play this through. No commentary. I'm going to give everybody the link everywhere. So you can go follow Ty Fisher. You can put out tweets. Get him on Rogan. If he hasn't already been on Rogan. I'll feel stupid if he's been on Rogan. But either way, get him on Rogan again, because I listen to Rogan pretty much every day, and I haven't heard him on Rogan yet. Listen to this. It's fantastic.
Thank you to Elon Musk. I'm about to get my Neuralink chip implanted into my brain, lost use of the entire left side of my body, and have trouble speaking. Wish me luck.
Good actor. It's good acting.
Okay, everyone. I've been up from my surgery for about 15 minutes now.
This is freaking genius.
Let that sink in. I'm a little drowsy, but I can move my hand for the first time in my life. So, Disney, if you're watching, that's for you. It's pretty cool. I've been up for a little while, 15 minutes. I already updated Starlink, so
there's going to be some
it should be working about 5 times as fast. So that's pretty good. I also just drew up a new design for SpaceX rocket that can fly to Mars in about 5 days. So that's pretty good progress, actually. And when I woke up, I realized the world is actually not overpopulated, it's underpopulated. So I've already impregnated 6 of my nurses. So, okay, 7. That's pretty hot. That's pretty cool. Anyways, highly recommend the chip. Highly recommend it. I think it's working really well. And Disney, go fuck yourself. Go yourself.
Okay, I'm hallucinating.
Okay, I don't know where that came from, but
I thought he didn't censor it in the one that I saw.
It was really cool.
It's amazing. Ty Fisher, Brooklyn, dude, living on the road like that has got to be wild. Go check him out. Okay, so that's what I wanted to start with because that is genuine, creative, funny, awesome. He's a stand-up. He's amazing. Can't rave about him enough, and a smart guy. All right. Now as everyone trickles in, and you may have noticed, I get so neurotic as to whether or not I've checked off that box in YouTube because I don't want. Did I? I know I did it. I know I saved it. I had saved it enough. I don't want to get accused of breaking the rules of YouTube, people. They review videos and then they approve them and then they disapprove them, then they demonetize them, and by the time they get around to monetizing them, the news is no longer in the news. Doesn't matter. So I checked off that box where it says this stream contains a paid promotion because it does, people. Booyakasha, it is Field of Greens. I feel like I'm going to steal from Joe Rogan. This one's easy for me, people, because everybody should eat healthy, be healthy, cut out the bad habits. Cut out that crappy, disgusting sucralose-ish, I don't know what the aspartame is the word I'm looking for. Diet Coke, cut out the, you know how many grams of sugar are in a small can of Red Bull? 54, I think. 54? I think it's 54 or 45, one or the other. You are supposed to have between 5 and 7 servings of raw fruits and vegetables a day. Most people do not have it. And if you can't have it, do it. But even if you do it, have a 1 spoonful of Field of Greens twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. That's 1 spoonful is a full serving of fruits and vegetables. It's desiccated greens, not defecated, although everything comes out at some point in time. Desiccated, like pulverized, it's a food. It's not an extract and it's not a supplement. You take 1 spoonful, they have a sweetened one, mild sweetened with stevia, I think. I don't want to make a mistake about that. And then they have the unsweetened. You stir it around, 1 spoonful. It looks like swamp water because swamp water is where life originates. Not literally or only scientific. I'm gonna get fact checked for that. Swamp water is rich in nutrients, rich in oxygen. When you put this in a glass, it is rich in all the good stuff that fruits and vegetables give you. When you're traveling and it's a little tough to get some, raw fruits and vegetables, a spoonful twice a day. Delicious, goes down easy, and it's a healthy habit. Then you want to go to the website, fieldofgreens.com. Promo code VIVA will get you 15% off your first order with free rush shipping. So that's that. The link is in the comment, people. Be healthy, cut out the bad habits. I have a theory about life. Life is about addictions, and it's about substituting the unhealthy addictions for the healthy addictions, or habits for that matter. So swap out the crap. Swap it in with something good for you that makes you feel good about yourself, that has the antioxidants, the nutrients of fruits and vegetables, and you are already 1 step better towards leading a healthier life. Fieldofgreens.com, promo code VIVA. It brings you to Brickhouse Nutrition, but that's the product. All right, now, I think we've got a few more things here. So for those who don't know, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I am Viva Fry, David Freiheit. I now know that David means beloved, David, from an interview with Ginger Ninja during our locals chat, member chat, supporter chat. And Freiheit, for those of you who don't know, means freedom. It's a German, yeah. Viva Fry. So what we do here, we start on YouTube, CommuTube, Rumble, and vivabarneslaw.locals.com. We then get off of YouTube at some point in time so that we grace the free speech platform with our presence, with our traffic, with our eyes, with our dollars, and with our feet. And then when the stream is over, we have an after party at vivabarneslaw.locals.com. Now, what was I going to say here? Oh yeah, and these things here, Rumble Rant Super Chats. I knew I forgot something. I did not click an existing sidebar. I didn't click the rant button, so I don't know if I missed any on Rumble. The Super Chats, YouTube takes 30% of them. The best way to do it, go over to Rumble. Rumble takes 0% of Rumble rants. Winston Shittenhouse, who I know that looks like my dog, but it's not quite him. Do you wear slippers? If so, where are they? I don't. Oh. What I wear, because I've made it on the interwebs, people. What I wear? Custom shoes that Murph made me. Murph's Kicks on Instagram. These are a very old pair. I wear these when I go fishing because now they smell horrible, and I don't care if they get dirty. And I got newer ones. Murph's Kicks. Murph's __ kicks at Instagram sends me these every now and again, and he does amazing stuff. All right, my 1-year-old daughter just really appreciated the horn, Viva. It really delighted her. Yeah, it's an awesome. The dogs especially love it. And we got my daughter's name is Adeline. Just in case you wanted to give her a shout out. No, I can't do that because that would make me a total hypocrite. Although with the permission of the parents is a different thing. No, I can't do it. Someone's going to clip it, snip it, and then say Viva after an intro in which he rages and raves against filthy politicians, addressing children directly. Steve Johnson, your daughter has a beautiful name, by the way. And what do we got here? We got MDA says, for some reason, people from Quebec have a terrible sense of humor. Now, let me just make sure that I actually got the link to Barnes. I know that I did. Let me just make sure. We've got one heck of a show tonight. I got some other stuff in the backdrop that we're going to play a good video. You got the link, comma, right? Question mark. You got the link, comma, right? Question mark. And I'm showing the case that another member of our locals community gave me, who also a forensic psychologist. We did a locals chat, and then she sent me not one, but two. Oh, the dog. Hold on a second. All right. Oh, gosh. Ow. Ow. I can hear my wife listening to the stream in the other room. Booyah! Okay, and I'll get Winston here. So, what was I going to say? That's it. I'll give everybody the link. Oh, I didn't pin the link. This is the link to locals, people, if you want to go watch the stream over there. And this is the link to Rumble before I get into the rest of this. Copy. Okay, good, good. And then the link to Rumble. And I'm going to pin the comment. That's what I forgot to do. Okay, then I'm going to play one more fun video. Link to Rumble. Boom shakalaka. How do I get back to the bottom here? Oh, the chat's moving so fast I can barely... I didn't put slow-mo on the chat. It doesn't matter. Okay, you got the link, people. I can't even see my own comment now. All right. Oh, here it is. Here, let me just pin that up here. All right, now, while we wait for the man of the hour, Barnes, let me bring up one more. Yes. Yeah, let's bring up Hakeem Jeffries. Speaking of idiot politicians, I just you may know Hakeem Jeffries from such films as I'm always conducting an orchestra with my hands. I'm not maybe the best person to criticize for that, although I like to think that my hand gestures are mildly correlated to what I'm saying. The two worst offenders of the always conducting an orchestra in their minds, Gavin Newsom and Hakeem Jeffries. Let's hear what Hakeem Jeffries has to say. I was going to do an entire video on this, but then I said that would just be too juvenile, Viva.
You know, we need more common sense in Washington, D.C., less conflict and less chaos.
Less conflict and less chaos.
Government. That means we should be trying to find bipartisan common ground. House Democrats have made that clear. On any issue, we'll work with our Republican counterparts when it makes sense.
Oh, we'll work with our Republican counterparts when it makes sense.
In terms of delivering real results for the American people. How can a bill be dead on arrival and extreme MAGA Republicans in the House haven't even seen the text? They don't even know what solutions are being proposed in terms of addressing the challenges at the border. House Republicans at this point are wholly owned subsidiaries of Donald Trump.
But I'll work with them.
They're not working to find real solutions for the American people. They are following orders from the former president. That's the height of irresponsibility. That's what the American people dislike about Washington, D.C. at this moment.
No, what they dislike are actually what they call pork bills, where you just jam in a load of shit unrelated to the bill. I'll work with them when they agree with me, and when they don't agree with me, they are extreme MAGA Republicans, and everybody hates them. What an absolute scumbag. Can't stand Hakeem Jeffries. I don't know why I still follow him on Twitter. I don't think I follow him, but I know Elon knows that I interact with him out of frustration. I'll work with them. But they're extreme MAGA Republicans who are a threat to democracy. But we're open to working with them when they agree with us. And when they don't, then we go back to demonizing them and all of their followers. To hell, Hakeem. Okay, now we got Barnes in the backdrop. And before I bring him in, Field of Greens, promo code Viva. Barnes is drinking something, and I don't know if it's Field of Greens. We're going to see. I'm joking. It's not. All right, Barnes, I'm bringing you in. Let me see this here. I'm going to go to locals and make sure that our audio levels are synced up. Sir, how goes the battle?
Good.
Tell us about, hold on, let me broaden this so we can see what's on your shoulder. There is no book this week, Robert.
Yeah, no. Not this week.
Okay, and let me just go to locals and see if they're going to say that you're too low. Barnes has the lake. EMR is great. Okay, what's going on here? Come on. Audio. Good? Question mark. Let's see if the audio is good. It's Amos Mills. Now the dog barks to get in. He's going to bark to get out. Robert, before we get into it, what do we have on the menu tonight?
We got the International Court of Justice made a ruling last week about Israel, this week about Ukraine. We have a when is graffiti fit within the First Amendment? The big school shooter parent on trial. The big Second Amendment win about your right to buy ammo. When is it okay to raid the wrong house? And
Always.
Yeah, exactly. And qualified immunity might not have ever been rooted in the law. The Musk compensation plan, rejection by a judge overriding the board. So Trump's ballot case will be heard on Thursday before the Supreme Court of the United States. We got when is mens rea required for criminal law? Are they locking people up who they haven't proven committed or intended to commit any crime? The Oregon Supreme Court's exclusion of GOP state senators based on a law that was passed by the people of Oregon last term. Can Biden legally issue amnesty, mass amnesty to illegal immigrants or anybody else? The classified documents Trump case continues to be taken apart by what is being exposed in the discovery part of the process. The Vault 7 whistleblower sentenced, and they found other things on his computer. It's always interesting who they find certain things on the computer of. Whether people should take that at face value might be another question. And we had a report, bonus topic of Florida. There's the Florida grand jury that was convened to investigate the COVID vaccines has issued its initial preliminary report.
Amazing. Now, what was the result of our locals poll as to what was the most popular, and what do we start with? I wouldn't mind starting with Musk on YouTube and Twitter and Rumble.
Yeah, I think the most popular one is Biden's amnesty power concerning illegal immigration. Brett Weinstein had a very interesting interview with Tucker Carlson this week over what he witnessed down in Panama-Colombia border region. And that there was clear evidence of an intentional invasion taking place, amongst other things. That was probably that was the number one voted topic. Well, no favorite got number one, but right beneath that was the immigration amnesty question, and then the Trump cases had a lot of interest, and then the Second Amendment case was third, I think.
Okay, perfect. So you know what we'll do? We'll start with the Elon Musk, and that one's going to segue into the most popular, which we will do on Rumble. Rob, okay, so I mean, I don't know that people are not particularly interested in the story. I mean, it made the headlines, what was it, Friday afternoon. This, for those who don't know, was a minority shareholder. I don't know how many shares he had, but it doesn't really matter.
It was $1,700 worth. It was like very few.
So the question is whether or not he was an activist minority shareholder from the beginning who files a suit basically challenging Elon Musk's compensation plan that was negotiated through the board of directors, approved by the shareholders back in, I forget when, but
2018, I believe.
2018.
Or maybe even before then. It was
because there were iterations of it. There was like the iteration 1, and they changed it. And the bottom line of the compensation package was basically he was at 21% shareholding of the company. If they met milestones of like increasing market cap by 50 billion, he would get another 1% of of share of the stock. Basically, it would have amounted to, had he reached, which he did, because apparently they met all 12 of their market milestones and all 11 of the 12 economic or financial milestones. When he reached 600 billion in market cap, he would effectively be compensated by way of 55 billion in the shares that he would get in tranches for every milestone that he made. They once hit a trillion dollar market cap. It since came down. He goes to say, okay, I want my compensation package. This guy goes to a Delaware court. I don't know if you'll tell us how business-friendly Delaware courts are. I know it's the number one state for incorporating. And this judge, by all accounts, because I'm reading left and right, by all accounts, created new law by saying we are basically rescinding this offer. We don't care that the board of directors approved it. We don't care that the shareholders approved it. The board of directors, according to this judge, as a matter of fact, were related to such that basically Elon controlled the company through de facto relationships with the board of directors. The shareholders, even though from what I understand, you'll tell me if I'm wrong, legally did not have to approve the deal, nonetheless approved it, but the judge said, well, they were misled because the relationship that I just found between the directors and Elon Musk was never disclosed to them, so they voted basically in ignorance of law and fact. And so rescind it, you're not getting it. I don't know exactly what he is going to get by way of package, what he's doing now. He's threatened to go to Texas, and apparently Delaware is making it hard to unincorporate or leave Delaware to go elsewhere. How much have I gotten wrong? Is this basically an unprecedented move by the judge?
Yeah, I mean, the Delaware courts are very friendly to business historically, and that's why they are the favored state of incorporation for companies around the world, not only in the United States. And it's generally called the business deference rule that is strictly enforced by the chancery courts there in Delaware. So that basically if they defer to the decision of the board in any context where there's business discretion to be made. That's why people incorporate. They know that their decisions will be reliably enforced. What this judge did is she scrapped it, said she wasn't going to apply the business deference rule, and instead she was going to consider it like a conflicted controller situation where there's people with conflicts in control of the company, and subject it to a general rule of fairness. I mean, whatever that means. This is what happens when social studies majors take over running businesses. People want to know why communism and socialism and fascism all failed. It's judges like this thinking that they know better than the corporate executives, than the board, than the shareholders, than the customers, than the Wall Street, than everybody else about what was the best compensation to give the best value to Tesla's stock. Because the thing most people looking at the case thought the case had no credibility in, aside from the business deference rule that's supposed to be applied in this instance, is that the shareholders made tons of money on this deal. I mean, they didn't lose. What are the damages? There are none. There are none. Their stock went sky high because of this deal. It's one of the things, by the way, she completely ignores. This deal really wasn't so much to incentivize Elon as it was to convince shareholders that Elon was going to be focused on Tesla. Mm-hmm. And it worked. It worked tremendously. He hit every single metric. And because people believed he was incentivized to hit those metrics, they invested in Tesla, driving up Tesla's stock. So it became one of those self-fulfilling phenomena. She totally ignores that this was one of the most successful CEO compensation deals ever done, entirely incentive-driven, in which Elon didn't make money unless the shareholders made lots and lots and lots of money. So it's preposterous to subject this to a fairness rule, and the fairness interpretation was absurd and asinine. What this really reveals is what Musk has been figuring out, the political weaponization of our entire legal system. He's right. If you're in Delaware, get out. Axios was busy trying to cover. Say, this is only about Musk. We talked to important corporate lawyers, and they all agreed you can stay in Delaware. They're lying to you. Axios is lying to you. Those corporate whores are lying to you. They're willing to sell out their own client to serve their own political interest. This is a lefty Biden connected judge who was presiding. She never should have been on the Chancery Court to begin with. Has no business there. Has no understanding of business. When you start out, when you're making little sarcastic comments through your opinion, you're a business judge in a Chancery Court.
She made it sound like she was describing a Star Wars episode, like writing there was a lot of hyperbolic, judgmental rhetoric. And then there was rhetoric.
Look at how rich he is. Oh, my God. What are you doing on the Chancery Court of Delaware? You have no business being there. You're a disgrace. You're a disgrace. This opinion was a disgrace. And it was a damning opinion. But what it is Musk figured it out. Don't incorporate in Delaware. Don't trust Delaware. The Delaware courts have now been Bidenized. which is kind of like being sodomized for him when it comes to integrity, and very undesirable experience. And so that's the reality of it. It's now the Tesla will appeal it. Who knows what the Delaware High Supreme Court will do? Because, I mean, this should be shocking. This should be horrifying. This should be terrifying to the state that profits so much from all the incorporating in their state. But who knows whether they'll figure that out. I mean, it's like the Biden administration and the EU that thought, oh, we'll sanction Russia and nobody around the world will think twice about investing in the West. And the first thing they did was try to figure out a new currency system that wasn't connected to the dollar and all around the globe. It was like that backfired terribly. But that's how clueless these people are. They live in their own little parochial, provincial worlds. And she would have never issued this opinion, but for the fact that Elon is adverse to her pal, Joe Biden. And that's what we're getting, people who now want to govern companies, govern schools, govern everything. This is the professional managerial class wanting to govern all of our lives at every level, whether it's the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture that wants to tell Amos Miller how to farm and tell us how to eat, or it's this judge telling Tesla how to run its business. Because it's not like they're the most successful business in the last 20 years, right? It's not like they're one of the top 10 most capitalized companies to the shock of a bunch of people who've been short selling them for a decade, right? I mean, it's a ludicrous ruling, and it makes a mockery of the Delaware courts that are now political partisan hack courts. It shows why social studies majors type should never be on a business bench. And it shows the degree to which the Biden administration will target and harass its political opponents.
One of the most shocking things in my mind of the decision is he owned 22%. So he was effectively, through his connections to the board, a controlling shareholder. And I'm like, whether he owns 1% or 70%, the benefit that he brought to the other shareholders is undeniable. It's measurable. I bought
indisputable. People have got fabulously rich betting on Elon Musk, and this deal helped make sure that happened.
In fairness to the judge, to Steelman, what she said, she's like, well, was it really necessary? Was the deal really necessary for this outcome? Like, it could have been anybody. It could have been Joe Schmo. It could have been Viva Fry's CEO. It didn't need to be Elon. He didn't talk about how much time he was going to have to put into the company. This is how people starve to death under socialist regimes. You get idiot judges who have no idea what they're doing, and they run businesses into the ground with terrible consequences.
Correct. That's exactly what it is. It's a terrifying sign. It's just like what they're trying to do to Trump in New York. It's the courts trying to run businesses, take over businesses. They want complete control, state control at every single level. Just like they want to control what Amos Miller is allowed to put in his own fridge, what you're allowed to put in your own fridge. I mean, it's the same logic. It's about complete, absolute, total state control with no option and if you're a dissident from the regime, it doesn't matter if you're a billionaire. It doesn't matter if you're the richest man in the world. They're going to, it doesn't matter if you're the former president of the United States. They're going to come after you.
Well, this will segue into the second of the Elon Musk, which is going to get to our most popular case. Everybody, get your heinies on over to either Rumble, or if you want to come over straight over to vivabarneslaw.locals.com. I mean, Rumble owns it. They've joined, so it's like you're supporting the same company. Come on over to vivabarneslaw.locals.com. The link is there, because we're now going to talk about Elon Musk's tweet that set the pigs a-squealing, Robert, on the interwebs. So I'm going to end it on YouTube now. I'll be posting the clips throughout the week, because we're upgrading. We've got people now who are going to edit the clips together. None of the what's the word I'm looking for? The gimmicky stuff, but it'll be the clips that do not make it onto YouTube, and you can enjoy those throughout the week. Come on over right now to Rumble, Viva Fry. Okay, remove YouTube now.